So when she reached out, she left me a message, I think last week or the week before, and I think she had mentioned cousin or thank you cousin. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait, yeah, I think that's my cousin. So we appreciate that. I see, yeah, your mom is here. I see that your mom is here. And I remember being a youngster and knowing that there were the relatives, you know, and that we had a little bond when we were younger. I had another cousin, you know, that was very, very near and dear to my heart, and I have to acknowledge him right now as my cousin Junior, my cousin George DeLeon, you know, and that was the connection. That's how I knew about Stacy, was through my cousin. I'm not gonna tell that story, but that's how I knew. That's how I knew about you. And we've always been connected, and we've always seen each other throughout the years. We've always recognized each other as relatives and stuff like that. And I just wanted you to know that the work that you do is important. You know, and the field that you're in is important because you guys service a lot of our people. And so we want to honor you. And it's my cousin Stacy Aguilar. Yeah, we need to talk about that story later on. She's a hugger.
She has a speech writer.
Yes.
Please.
Wow. And I want to thank my mom, Linda Blue. I really had and he likes attention. He's a hugger too.
Hi everyone, my name's Jacob. I'm from Ojibwe country, so it's nice to see some other Anishinaabe up here. So Stacy isn't much of a talker, and I am. And I knew she would underrate herself, but she deserves this award. For over a decade, she's been giving your kids immunizations. She's been pushing your grandmas in their wheelchairs to their appointments. She takes phone calls in the middle of the night when your loved ones are not feeling well. She shows up at events. If I'm at an event, she's usually in the back with her sister somewhere. This woman, her action speaks louder than her words. So she's the one who shows up and does the work, and I admire that, and I just wanted to honor, thanks for honoring her, right? We really rely on her, and she's really the backbone of our, not just our health center, but really our community, so thanks.
Thank you. And thank you for writing her speech.
One more thing, she's single if anyone's available.
And yes, natives believe in arranged marriage. Stacy, your mom.
She's probably going to say I'm single also. She is also.
Well, I want to tell you about this girl. She's got the biggest heart. She is like, oh, hi. She's like, you know, keeps peace in the family. And I want to tell you about, this woman has put her whole thing on hold that for her education to be an RN for her family. She gets up 5:30 in the morning, start getting the kids ready, takes the school bus, go back to pick up more kids, take them to another thing, go to work. But I mean, you know, having 13 people in the house and taking care of them, nine children and adults.
They're not all mine.
But anyway,
She's ruining the single thing for me.
But I mean, she has a love for the people at her work. She, you know, she has a background that you never hear about. Is her, oh, she's Miwok, she's Maidu, she's Yoka, and she's Navajo. And her people are from the Y of the Cosumnes River, and they were headmen, and which was Waiduck, and then we have, like, our people were put in schools, and the mothers were killed, and these women were in Yoka country, in missions and stuff, and also the men had to move up from they were putting a telegraph through El Dorado County, and the men would move their tribes up hill to stay away from the area because they didn't want the people mixing with their people, you know. And but anyway, Stacy, she's done everything in the family to keep it in. She's got 3 sisters back there, and I don't think they're married either. So, thank you, and thank you for honoring my daughter.
Thank you. That's how the spirit moves. She's single. So yeah, she's single. She works at Snack as the receptionist. I wouldn't, or the whatever job you do, you're the backbone of the organization, from what I've heard. So I'll give you credit for that. And I appreciate you. Every time, 10 years go by sometimes and we don't see each other. We see each other. We always acknowledge each other. Thank you for that, and always remembering that I'm the cousin. So we've ordered some pizza because I know I'm getting kind of hungry, so you guys must be a little bit hungry as well. So we've ordered some pizza. We have a bunch of watermelon back there, but we don't have a knife. My wife usually has a knife in her truck or something. I'm not sure if we could cut the watermelon with it.
I mean,
But,
surely one of these great native hunters or fishermen has a knife.
Yeah, so if anybody does have a knife that we can utilize, we got some great watermelon back there. We got some pizza on the way, and we're getting ready to honor another young lady. A couple years ago, I kept hearing about this person, and their name was just ringing a bell all throughout California. And I was like, I wonder who this person is. And so I finally got in contact with the person, and she wasn't who I thought she would be. Because I thought she was going to be an elderly woman. Because she's like, yeah, she has a doctoral degree. All right? And so being a student, and a struggling student at many times, I know how hard it is, especially for Native people, to retain themselves in the educational field and to move forward and to move on. And you know, I think statistically speaking, when I was at Sacramento City College, I think my Native American Studies professor told me that less than 1% of natives will move on to get a doctoral degree.
That's right.
And so, with great honor and great pleasure, we want to introduce Dr. Melissa Lill. She made me change the flyer at one point, said, you need to put doctor in front of there. I earned it.
Can I help her out? I'm good.
So as you can tell, she's not an elderly woman.
Salakito manish, any lepa Melissa Leal, any esalink, any oloning, any Sacramento no. Nish ushay, Nimasian al Pasaliki. Good evening. My name is Melissa Leal, and I am Esalen and Ohlone. My people are from the greater Monterey Bay region. I am from Sacramento. I was born and raised in Sacramento County. I've never lived outside of Sacramento County, Sac Town. And I said Nish Ushai, and Nish Ushai means my ancestors. So every time that I introduced myself, I asked for my ancestors to be present with me, those that have passed. And I said Nimasian el Pasaleki, which means my heart or my soul feels good. It's the way that we say thank you. In Esalen, my heart and my soul feels good. I'm so grateful to Rich and his wife, Indigenous Warrior Enterprises, all of the wonderful people who I'm humbled and honored to have been a part of this and be recognized with some people who I admire and I look up to. The only reason why I made Rich put doctor on on the flyer is because I'm told often that I'm too humble. And I'm the only person in my family that went to college, and my mom didn't graduate from high school, and my parents are honored to have that in front of my name. So I try to have that in front of my name as often as I can, even though you don't have to call me doctor. You just call me Melissa M. Boogie, whatever you want. I do lots of different things. Currently I'm the director of education for Wilton Rancheria, and I teach at Sierra College. I work with youth, I work with prisoners, I work in film and music and dance. I have a website, so you can check me out on the website, because most importantly, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a cousin, I'm a teacher, I'm a dancer, I'm often a big hot mess weirdo. Often, in fact I get called that often. I'm a child. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. And I hope that I'm an inspiration. And so today when I got up here, I was going to talk about love, right? And I think our wonderful hostess has talked a lot about love, and so I'm gonna leave that there. But I think I'm gonna add something, and then I'm gonna share a poem with you. So I'm gonna add something about relationships, and how important they are. Because when I die, someday, and I have a funeral or a celebration of life, that PhD doesn't get to sit in a chair with me. It means nothing at that point. It really doesn't. What means something is my relationships that I have with people in my life. And please forgive me. I thought I could get up here and do this without crying. My family is going through a very tragic time right now. So this is speaking to me even more today. How important relationships are. Any type of relationship, creating relationships with people and catering to those relationships and making people feel important in your life is the key to being happy. It's the key to success. It's the key to all that love that our hostess has been talking about, because I've neglected that, and I realize that. I realize that I have not allowed myself to open up to people in a way that's healthy. I do and do and do, and I put on a show, and I make these kids happy, and I think one of my biggest joys out of life is to just act like a complete weirdo so that they smile and that they're inspired by me, and they think that that they learn that they're rock stars, because I'm always telling people that they're rock stars. I want you to feel like a rock star, right? And I do that, and then I shut myself off. And I've done that for years. And so I'm beginning to understand that I've neglected myself in that way. And so if I could give any lesson today as a teacher, it would be to foster relationships with people. Everyone's taking pictures, I better wipe the snot off. Foster relationships with people, love each other in different ways. Be okay to let people in, just open up and allow that to happen. And so that's my lesson for the day. I'm super grateful to be here. Be weird, be a rock star, just do what makes you happy in a safe and productive way. If you do it through music, great. If you do it through culture and music, even better. If you're traditional and you're musical, even better. Like, I just love that. So I'm an advocate for all of that. And one of the things that I do is write poetry. So I would like to share something with you, and then I will be done. And thank you for letting me cry. There are generations on these shoulders, weighing heavy like cement blocks. There's beauty in the concrete, precious metals put together to form rocks. Silver and platinum taken from mines, exploited resources, profit over people. There is no beauty in shiny bling bling on the block, only jewelry that is unequal to the beauty that is creation and light. Human beings and sacred things, givers of life, take off the shackles, get free, undo those chains. Put something in your brain that makes you feel some type of way, but not high or drunk. Feel the energy all around you, start living for today, look forward to tomorrow, and plan for the hereafter. When the world ends and we meet him, that shiny piece hanging from your shoulders means nothing. A plain signal that you worshipped your ego and didn't live by your heart, misguided by the media, belief in the wrong kind of right is only temporary satisfaction, instant gratification for a wasted life.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you. Hey, and everything, all the gifts we giving to everybody, matches and everything. It's like, whoo. Hey, creator.
Majuxis, Katina Miwu, Kanyasis Albert, Suma de Miwu, Epani, Binkia, come on. Josaleli, Kanaska, thank you. Wuke, Beku, Susipu, Jujima, Lea Tosawa. One guy, Nixika, we said. Just want to say thank you to Brother Richie and to Amanda. I know that they put their heart and soul into, changing their lives and making life better for a lot of people, especially the youth. So I'm really proud of Brother Richie and his beautiful wife Amanda for, bringing us all out here to share, to share our experience, our strength, and our hope for the future of our people. My life is blessed.
Yes.
I wake up every morning and I offer gratitude. I face the east direction and I say, thank you, come on. Thank you for another day of life. I face that east direction, the morning sun, and that's important. Every day I wake up and I offer that. It signifies a new chance, a new opportunity to find balance within myself, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I offer gratitude for all my relations. My young relative, Sister Melissa, talks about relationships and talk about love. That means something. It means more than just saying it at the end of a ceremony when we say it. It has depth to an understanding of what that means. I'm blessed to have great people in my life. And there's a lot of people in here today. Boy, and you may not know this, but you have had a great impact on my life. And start with that beautiful woman right there where she gave me birth, my mama. Love you, mama. The way I've been taught, we come from spirit through our mothers, sacred life givers, right? And my mama, there's 7 of us, 7 brothers and sisters, and my mama has been really a symbol of strength in our family. Because you know our history, the Zindan people, they tried to destroy our family systems. They attacked through acts of law, genocide, the core of our culture, and this family. And I believe that 100%. And my mama is here as living proof that our family's still intact. And my beautiful wife, Angela, is the mother of all 5 of my beautiful children and 8 grandchildren. All my relations. My beautiful daughter, standing up here right now, really proud of her. Our future, right here. I gave them all hugs because the Creator has blessed me with a huge responsibility. Years ago, I was walking out of balance, and the spirits came to me, and they kept coming to me, and they kept chasing me, and I kept running. And when I finally stopped to listen, they were telling me, finally told me, you got to take the drugs and the alcohol out of your family. And for a long time, I ran, and I kept using drugs because I was afraid, because I didn't know what was going on. I ran to the white doctors, and they told me, you're hallucinating. We're going to lock you up in this place for a little while. And they wanted to give me drugs to make the spirits go away, right? But what I know today is they can't give you any amount of drugs to chase our spirits away. Our ancestral spirits are too strong. Boy, they live. And I'll tell you, if you don't believe in the spirit world, you need to get into some ceremony somewhere and find your way home, I say. All my relations, every last one of you are part of my relatives. Stacy back there, earlier, love you, Stacy. She's one of my relatives on the Miwok side of my family. My dad was a full-blood Native man. He was Miwok, he was Maidu, he was Pit River. And we say Wapumne, we say. And my mama, she's a beautiful, beautiful, she said, Chicana. Mexica, right? Indigenous woman. So that means we're 100% indigenous. And we understand all our relations. So I'm blessed to work at the Sacramento Native American Health Center. I've met a lot of great people at that place, and Creator's put me in a path, a journey of healing and wellness. I call Red Road, to find that balance within, and it teaches me to understand all my relations, my relationships with the air, relationships with the water, relationships with all the plants, the animals, and the relationship I have with all my human relatives, the relationship I have with myself. You know, that relationship that starts from within and works its way out. You know, that spirit, the relationship I have with the Creator. And man, it's an honor to get to stand here and just share a little bit of that journey. It was at the Native American Health Center. I get to share healing from addiction, alcoholism, sexual abuse, domestic violence, mental illness, and I get to share the cultural teaching to do that. I don't offer anybody psychotropic medication. They have that. I don't offer that. I share with people, you have the answer inside of you. Our indigenous people were connected spiritually to the DNA of our ancestors, the songs, the ceremonies, the prayer, the food, the water.
Yes.
We have that, and it lives in each and every one of you. And if you're using drugs and alcohol to try to find that, you're searching in the wrong place. Because the answer is in our DNA. We must go back, and we know it. We go back 7 generations to learn how to live today, so that the next 7 generations will know even better. Right? My people survived right here where this building is standing, and along the rivers that surround us, all the way around us. Auntie talks about the salmon and the relationship with the salmon. Coast Umne, river, coast, salmon, Umne, people love. It's dry. There's no salmon in that river. My people survived in that river. As a matter of fact, they named it. Still name that. And our people live all around that to this day. So, my responsibility is to give hugs, not drugs. That's my motto. I gave these kids hugs, not drugs. Gotta stop feeding our kids poison.
Yes.
Right, we gotta stop it. And it starts with us. You know, very powerful message. And I wake up and I face that morning sun, and at the end of my night, I face the west direction where the sun sets and the moon rises. The moon is female, we're taught. Female energy, powerful, the energy of our women, who've been the backbone of our people for generations now. They're the reason we exist. When you understand the energy of the moon, when you face the direction and you ask for forgiveness, man, helps you to let go of all that stuff we've been carrying around. It helps you to understand how to grieve. I don't know how it works. I've been taught it, I practice it, and it works. Grandmas taught us that, the aunties, for many, many generations ago. It's the stuff that when some of our relatives were talking about, they don't teach you in Head Start, in preschool, in elementary, in middle school, in high school, and on and on and on. See, they don't teach you those things in your white schools. Matter of fact, they teach you opposite. They teach you their version of the story and how to pray their way. We have the answers. They live within each and every one of us. And if you don't know, look around the room. Boy, there's some great teachers in here. Mary Thompson, Colleen, Connie. I keep naming the women, my mama. Right? They're in here. And I've had to learn how, in my life, to find balance within myself, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, male and female. I've had to learn that from within in order to respect that part of me. And all my relations, plants, animals, water, fire, air, all my relations. Oh, that's powerful when you say that and you truly understand it and you can live it. It means something. Some brothers, Brother Hatch back there, I love that brother. Watched him in the community over the years and watch him working with the young people, teaching them about how to be in a relationship with their clapper stick and with their feathers around that fire with that song. It's very powerful, you know. Watch the little guys dance like little Joshie, Troy's son, my grandson. Understanding the relationship they have to all things, using the culture to do it. So I could go on and on and on. I told my wife I wouldn't say that much, and I wouldn't be like Dennis. If any of you guys know Dennis John Murray, that guy can talk forever. And I just wanted to offer that because this is an honor. We get blessed, and we don't do what we do for the recognition. None of us do what we do because we want to be recognized for it. We do it because we love our people. We love ourselves. We truly understand what that means, you know. I want to tell Melissa, let them tears flow, sister. Is what I've been taught. And this young brother that was crying earlier, man, I'm really proud of that young man for being as young as he is and not being ashamed to let them tears flow as a young man. Because what I have been taught is water is healing. Like the brother said earlier, water is life. Like without water, we don't exist. We use water in our ceremonies to cleanse ourselves. And so what a man told me is, Albert, that water has been given to you men to cleanse from the inside out. Women they're not afraid or ashamed to show that. But us men have been ashamed, but we learn that ceremony when we're crying. When we're crying, we need to let that stuff out. If we're sad or angry, even when we're happy, we have to pray when we're crying. Make that offering, because that's what's happening. You're cleansing from the inside out. You know, ceremony can be wherever you are. It doesn't have to be in the roundhouse or the lodge. It's beautiful when it's there, but if you're far away, it's wherever you are. All your relation you have within yourself. So I'm really, again, happy and proud, bro. Thank you. Brother Richie, I love you, man. Your beautiful wife, Amanda, and every one of you in here, thank you for coming out and having patience and sticking around, because everyone in here is supposed to be here. Mama Bear, Susan Jim, I love you. She's been a big inspiration. She stays in this community. We work on these. We work on this Red Road together over at the Native Health Center, helping our people heal from drugs and alcohol, and more than anything else, helping them find that balance from within. I just want to acknowledge Mama Bear. She's an elder to me. I want to say that.
How's everybody doing? You guys still awake out there? Yeah. Come on, make some noise. You guys still awake out there? Let's give a big hand to Richie and his family for putting this event together. It's an honor to receive this award tonight. While I'm honored to receive this award, I've always thought that doing what we do in all of our various aspects of activism is what every human being should do that lives here and that cares about our future generations. I'm going to make this quick because I know there's so a few more, and we've got some music that we're going to play tonight and have a good time. But thank you all for being here. Congratulations to all the fellow award recipients, and thank you for all of your hard work and what you do. And again, thank you to Rich and his family for having us here. Hope that's on good.
Blessings, thank you. Leading by example, Cody Thomas Blackbird. Today we got a concert to do as well, man. We got to have to, kind of speed things up, but we let people speak from their heart, and I don't want to rush anybody in any works that they do. I know sometimes I'm long-winded myself, so we're going to get next to the next honoree, and Cody Thomas Blackbird came out, volunteered his time to come to our youth summit last year, and so did this next young lady. She's making a lot of noise in the Indigenous community. She's making a lot of noise in the music world right now. And I'm trying to borrow at least 15,000 of her 115,000 Twitter fans or whatnot that she has. So pass some of them down to me, please. But we're very honored. She came to our youth summit last year. She was extremely involved, and she has a nonprofit that they're getting started. It's called Res to Res. And Miss DeLeon Janae.
They asked me to come out to the summit, and it's something so close to my heart. The Native community it's a part of me. I'm Montaukett Indian from my dad's side, and we're not federally recognized. And so being part of a Native community, again, now that I've moved from New York to California, having Rich and Amanda welcome me to their community with open arms was something, I'm not trying to cry, um, something so beautiful to me to be a part of that and to be a part of something like this. And that's why, back in New York, even though my tribe isn't federally recognized, I was still very close to the Shinnecock tribe. And I have friends that have taken their own lives. And it's something that, it hurts me every day to know that there are people all around the country, Native people, taking their lives. And I wanted to do something to change that, to help with the youth. So what could I do? Being so young myself, so that's why my dad and I, we thought of the Res to Res Foundation to help the youth, so that all the reservations, all the youth can connect with each other and, have a friend out there, have someone to talk to. As 13, 14, I struggled with depression my own self, and now just to help other people. When I walk down the street, I say, you know what, that's a beautiful shirt you have on today. No one can wear that like you do. Things like that, that could save somebody's life, and that is what we need. And Rich and Amanda, I thank you. You should be honored today, but you can't honor yourself, I guess. I don't know. I honor you. And I thank you for this award. And I'm just really grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, and you're right. I couldn't honor myself, but I feel honored to be here, and that's what matters to me. Matter of fact, somebody had hit me up on the magical Facebook world and said, I'm doing this, and this, and that, and that, and that, and everything else in the community, and I should be up there being honored, and this and that. And I was like, well, you know how many people that I reached out to that I wanted to honor that said, no, I don't need the recognition?
Wow. Yeah.
And so the young man hit me back and said, thank you. Appreciate that. He kind of hit me back with some positivity, and I was like being super negative. So thank you. And thank you, DeLeon. I don't need the recognition. I think my mouth is loud enough to make things happen, but we appreciate you. And I know sincerely from your heart that you want to do something to help the youth. We appreciate you too as well, Andre, and we're glad that you guys made it out to our youth summit. We're glad that you guys made it out here. Miss Dylan Janae actually has a very hot single that's out, spreading like wildfire. Very soon, you're going to be in a position to be able to help a lot more Native people and a lot of more Native youth. And we need you, and we're going to lean on you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm looking around. Is Brother Wallace Clark still in the building? We're honored to be able to do that. And I respect this man. I call him uncle. I respect him as an elder, and I respect you as a person. And I recognize you, and I cherish you for being in my life, for Creator putting you there, and for being so giving. Because we wanted to honor the brother, and we wanted to bless him, and he still blessed us in return. And so we appreciate that, and I thank you for that.
I had this big speech going on, talking my way, my language way, but I've heard some great words here tonight. And, way back in 1960, I had to go up in front of an adoption court. And we didn't have ICWA in those days. And therein lies the reason why I got into language, because I didn't know my family. It was even when I hear some my brothers here talking about the 60s and the 70s, and I was on a reservation called Vietnam, and I had to fight over there, and I came up all messed up. War does that to you, especially when you don't have the support of a tribe. and the prayers from the people. But eventually I did find my family, and I found out a whole lot about them, you know, and it started out right around 1863 when my great-grandmother, Yohema, saw her father and her brother and her sisters being rounded up and taken over to Mendocino. That's where I live today, over in the Mendocino area. And it's been a long journey. I'm a singer and a dancer. Shake head, big head, everything I can to tell my ancestors that I'm still carrying on. And you know, we do have a word, Kodabondawi, which means the end of the world. And I'm not really quite sure what that meant. I know that in 1863, when they were taken over to, first they, because Round Valley wasn't even started yet, but my great-great-grandfather, Domiani, he was taken over to Fort Bragg. And ironically, just a few hundred feet from one of my home, my wife is a Pomo Indian, Noyo Pomo. And just a few hundred feet from where I lived at is where he was, he laid, captured. And of course, by that time, his daughters had already been killed on that march. My great-great-grandmother had already been hung. But I do that, I do the language, I do the dancing, I do my prayers, Albert, for my, the ones that have gone before me. And for all of you, and for the little ones. I do have 17 grandchildren, so if anybody needs any, I'll sell them cheap, believe me. Most of them are knuckleheads. But anyway, and I understand why some of those people didn't want to show up here, because it's not about the recognition, as we've heard. We do it because if we don't, a lot of people are losing out on some great knowledge. Knowledge that will help you survive through the next generation. And believe me, if we, as Kayleen says, you know, if we don't step up, we're going to lose it. And so that's why I do things. And I just thank all of you, the young people, my brothers, my sisters, for what you guys are doing. Richie, you're phenomenal. Thank you. I really appreciate you doing this right in here, and it's already the talk of the town. So, thank you. Nimwinin. Oh.
And for the works that she's doing in our community, and it's Miss Karina Gold. Are you? She's still here? Maybe not. Maybe she's outside. She's getting that watermelon. All right, if she's here. Oh, thank you for the watermelon. She is here. We would like to take an opportunity to honor her as well. She's doing some great things in our community. She's very active, you know, and I believe that's why she was nominated multiple times, more than a handful of times, by different people. And so we appreciate that. Thank you for the watermelon. You need it. I'll eat it in a minute. All right, so Karina, we're gonna keep her award. We have, if somebody knows her, we have an honorarium that we would like to get to her as well, and so we would like to do that. But our next person, I'm looking around. Is Rhonda Pope still in the house? No, Rhonda Pope is gone too. All right. Well, Rhonda's been very instrumental in my life. All right. My wife and I were actually had a traditional ceremony over at Buena Vista when we got married. And so we're married in 3 different ways and in 2 different languages. So it's definitely official. And we put it on Facebook. Okay, this next brother is volunteered. He asked me to come out and do a couple of events with him. He sent me some imagery, said, hey, we're doing an event against police brutality at the state capitol. We want you to come out, we want you to perform. And by the way, can you do these shirts for us by tomorrow? But I was happy to because he's extremely active in our community. And there's been many times that I know many people have leaned on him and have asked him the same thing. We need some support, and can you be here tomorrow? And he's always been there. And he's going to continue to be there for the people. And it's my brother Stephen Payan. Please make your way to the front building.
How's everybody doing tonight? Still doing good?
Yeah.
Thank you, Richie, for inviting me out here. There's not a lot of spaces like this where people can take time to reflect on the past, the president, and figure out where we're going to go from here. Those of you who know me actually know probably at least 30% to 40% of the crowd here. I've organized a lot of different protests with a lot of random people here. I think maybe when we got raided at DQ in 2008, it kind of like broke me to not be afraid of the police. If you're going to stand up for what you believe in, you better go all the way or don't be about it.
Yeah.
So from that breaking point, we look at the way the world is, because like in this country, we can't fathom past the next election. And when you're poor, you can't focus past your next paycheck. And when you're in poverty, you can't focus past your next meal. So how are we going to focus to the next 7 generations? I got my other half, Cassandra, and my daughter of 7 months here. So what are we going to do for that next generation? And it's a serious question, because I think we live in kind of like 2 different worlds. It's like the world of capitalism, and in the world of that spiritual understanding of that. There's a lot in jeopardy. In the last just 40 years, we killed off half of the world's wildlife population. And then 30% more is expected to hit too. So when I take my daughter to the zoo, they're probably only gonna have like cats and dogs left. But if we think about that reality, think about it. If we killed off half of the world's wildlife population and another 30 is coming up in our next generation, what message is that saying within our daily routine? So when the Occupy movement hit out, like we were figuring out what can we do, because we don't just want to hold signs and we just don't want to protest, and we don't even just want to lobby, but we do all of that stuff like weekly, at minimum monthly, and we try to get out there to figure out who are our best artists, who are our best musicians, who are our best speakers, and what are the most righteous causes that we can figure out so we can get people to mobilize. And within that, like we started targeting Monsanto, we started shutting them down, like physically shutting them down. Started looking at the home foreclosures and occupying people's homes that were getting foreclosed on through like Wells Fargo and Chase Bank during the bank bailouts. Then we were looking at recently to Nestle's with this drought. So we shut down Nestle's. We're like, okay, we're gonna utilize this as a catalyst to expose international media of like what's going down here. So we're way past the stages of protesting. We need to like say enough is enough. Like if someone comes in there and rapes our mother, are we going to go out there and protest and hold a sign? You can't be raping my mother. Don't be raping her mother. Well, capitalism is raping our Mother Earth. There's still the natural resources. There's genocide over there. There's an ecocide, and it's not that we don't take it seriously. It's just that we're not programmed enough to take it seriously because we got to pay our rent. We got to barbecue on the weekend we gotta go to. Some people can't even handle reality, so they gotta get faded on the weekend. Wow. And that's just the reality we live in. Entertainment, I mean, a lot of our entertainment is focused on brainwashing people that everything is gonna be all right tomorrow if someone else will take care of it. We don't have to take care of it, someone else will do it. So we try to at least wake people up to, even if we don't know what we're doing, we should at least study and try to figure out something to do. And then find our leaders like Kayleen. If people don't know Kayleen, I'm pretty sure everybody here should know what Kayleen's doing, fighting against the dam to be raised. And I don't want to get into it because if you're paying attention, she gave that whole spiel. But I think as a chief that's local here, we should do everything we can to get our families to support what's going on there, as well as locally in our communities, and get out there, get active. There's nearly not enough people active in our communities. There's a good phrase like during during slave times, each one teach one and each one reach one. So we try to continue that because it feels like we're in some form of a dark ages. Like everyone's like aware with social media, but like not everybody's like really active. Like I'm gonna go home, and then a lot of my family are just gonna be like, some of them are gonna be active, some of them are just gonna be waiting for the football game. A lot of my friends and stuff too, and nothing's wrong with that. I'm not saying there's nothing's wrong with that, but I try to stay like in the reality of the next 7 generations. If we're gonna actually. And I'm speaking to the choir here because I know everybody here is practicing what they preach, and I'm very thankful to be in front of those like-minded people like Richie and Cody, people as well as myself, like doing music to actually fight, and Rudy from Mentes Diferentes, and then also our Berets, like to go out there. And then, and I feel like I'm talking too much, but I definitely am very humbled to be here with a lot of, in my opinion, activist heavyweights, people that hold their weight, people who are like Atlas with the whole world on their shoulders. Wow. So it's a humbling experience. Thank you, Richie, for this, and much love and respect to everybody that's been here, earned these awards. Let's continue this. This is something that's really special. I believe that we should pass on, like we say, to the youth, so they can have that understanding of what's really going on. Much love and respect to everybody. Oh.
Speaking of the youth, carrying it on and letting them be part of the ceremony next year, this young man just asked me if he can actually do the honoring of our next honoree, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. Oh. Thank you.
Wow. All right, so I have the great privilege to announce the next honoree. I've known this man for roughly 6 years. He's a great inspiration. He's given me a lot of great opportunities for my acting careers, and he's a really great man. So I am proud to present this certificate to Mr. Jack Kohler.
Thank you very much for this honor. I had a speech written, but I think I'm going to make it short. I've been working with the youth since, since I was working for the Sonoma Indian Health back in 1994 as a youth counselor. And then I worked with the American Indian Film Institute. I did their tribal training program. I taught kids how to make films on reservations. And now that's what I do every day. I'm a teacher for the United Auburn Indian Community. I get to teach youth how to make films, how to write songs, how to write hip-hop songs. A lot of hip-hop. Danny is one of our lead reporters for On Native Ground, and this will be our second season on the FNX channel, and we have 12 episodes that are currently running 4 to 5 times a week on FNX, and it gives the youth a chance to be in front of the camera and report on positive issues in Indian country and positive role models. So that's what we do. And I do want to thank my family, my grandmother, who taught me what it means to be an Indian, because I grew up in San Francisco. I was an urban Indian. Yeah. So she taught me what it was to be an Indian, and the stories of my relatives on the reservation. And then my grandfather, who, when I was 7, he told me I was going to go to Stanford, and I went to Stanford because he told me when I was 7 I was going to go there. And that's the positive what positive words can do to kids. You tell them what they can do and what they can achieve, and then they'll achieve that. And then I want to thank my beautiful wife and my two beautiful daughters who have been boom pole operators. They've been reporters, they've been actors, they've made the meals for the actors, and just all the support from my family. So thank you very much. Thank you for this honor and for being able to be with all these honorees who deserve it so much more than I do.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. And this sounds weird, but hopefully I never get one of these awards. Hopefully my actions continue to move through our community. And I don't need the recognition either. Just like all of the honorees, most of the honorees, the first thing that they said was, I don't need the recognition. But they accepted, I think, out of respect for me. A lot of them had accepted this out of respect for me and for my wife and our organization. So we're very grateful for that. Very grateful for that. We're grateful for all of the people who have traveled, sacrificed, truly sacrificed to make this happen. We're honored for that. We do want to get some music going.